So where's it going? Where do we think it's going as we take this trajectory and keep going? Where does the Rogan effect take us? And I know this is an out of left field question, but where do we take this?
Well, I was going to answer the question: where are we going to? Jesus. We
Amen.
are. The world
Yes.
is coming to Jesus. That's what it ultimately is. So the Rogan himself, for the backlash for the entire mess.
I guess this kind of woke culture, this woke perspective, where you feel you have to duck and pivot and bob and weave in order to sort of fit in somewhere. I mean, the culture wants to fit in. People want to fit in. They want to fit into community.
Yeah,
we are made for community.
So I don't know of anybody on the crazy neo-racist side of things that has 12 million people listening on Spotify or anywhere else. That's probably an encouraging thing.
Indeed.
They do have critical mass, but they have critical mass in these really small pockets. If they get together out in the streets to protest so-called police violence. And another really cool effect when they do that is they're no longer vulnerable to COVID. It's a really amazing thing.
Doesn't come out at riot.
So they hit critical mass there, and they've definitely hit critical mass in HR offices across corporate America, and then of course in academia. But out in the real world, I don't see these people. I don't see these people, but the media amplifies it because the media shares the worldview, or is at least sympathetic to. I don't think the media actually shares. I don't think the media actually believes all of that, but they have so much in common with these either useful idiots or neo-Marxists that they
and divisiveness drives ratings.
Divisiveness drives ratings. And it wasn't you and I who were talking about this. I think it was Tara and I who were talking about this earlier today. Pornography being accepted. I've never been for the government shutting down some kind of cyber business, except I'm starting to reconsider that with Twitter. You could obliterate so much horror and vitriol and mess if you just shut down Twitter.
Yes.
And I'm not saying I'm for that, but I'm thinking about it.
Go ahead, Joey.
I'm not against it. It's a vile, horrible.
Does anybody think it helps us?
No, it's contributing to the destruction of culture and the world as we know it. The
psychopathology of the derangement of culture.
Yeah. Also, to answer your question, I think we're going to get to a point, and I actually think we're starting to see this. So the left for so long was all about feminism, right? And men and women have to be equal, and the pay gap and this and that. And now they've gone so far with it that they're actually erasing women. Because now you have men who are pretending to be women in women's sports and are dominating. So they're basically saying, oh, actually, men are better at sports and they should get to dominate women's sports, and women don't really matter. They are erasing the identity of women. They're essentially canceling what it means to be a woman. And so I think, at least I hope, cancel culture at some point implodes on itself, where they start canceling each other.
I think has to,
everyone inside, they just start canceling each other because they will get offended by everything. Everything will be too wrong, too little woke or not woke enough, and they'll cancel each other, and the rest of the world will be normal. People want to be normal.
People
want to be normal. People don't want to live in a crazy world. They just want to live normal. They want to have a house. They want to have a family. They don't want this craziness. So I hope it just cancels itself.
And those in those cancellation culture areas are striving to be normal too, and they're trying to bring it out through force. I'm going to force you to accept me as normal. I'm going to force you in law and in culture and media to accept me as normal, even though the lifestyle I'm living and the values I hold are not.
Yes. I wish we had a long time to actually talk more about that because it's such a bizarre. So we'll talk quickly. It's such a bizarre expectation that you can live in a radically countercultural way, and expect culture to embrace you, and whether you believe that we were specially created or that we evolved. And I think most of the folks on that side think we evolved. There's a strong argument from evolution for why, we absolutely should not embrace things that look different, because things that are different may kill you.
Right. Exactly.
But the hubris, the arrogance to demand that the society, the culture bend to you instead of you bending to the culture. It is remarkable.
It's this. Sorry, I don't mean
No,
that.
no.
It's this small minority of the country wielding extreme power against most of
gets
the
amplified
population.
through Twitter and the
think
media.
about, in Congress, how many transgender members are there of Congress? None, right?
None yet.
None yet.
That we know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It probably won't be long before.
It won't be. I think,
But
there's a couple that have announced. I think.
they consider laws. One of Joe Biden's first acts as president was to allow transgender people into whatever bathroom of their choosing.
Sure.
They are using the highest level of government power exerted over 90% of the population for 0.01% of people.
Yes,
and
yes.
that's really alarming.
Federalism
Yes.
solves that.
Yeah.
A big part.
Anyways,
of
sorry.
All right.
I'm going to inject one thing.
Yeah.
Do we have a minute? Okay.
Yes, I was probably about to pass to you. For this.
Well, thank you. I go back to the founders. I go back to sort of the worldview there. I go back to John Adams, who was saying,
That's what I was passing
You know?
to. They're signaling us.
there
on
we
the
go.
monitor, sorry.
Okay. Our Constitution was made for a moral and religious
Yes.
people. It's wholly inadequate to the government of any other, right? We know the quote well.
Absolutely.
He was saying that the worldview, the hearts, the values, the spirit of our government was that you can't legislate all this stuff. You have to have it within you.
Yes.
And ultimately, what we're trying to do at Liftable TV is share Christ-centered truth from a biblical worldview so people can understand that the values and how I live them out is going to impact culture. And Liftable TV is a safe place to get that dangerous message of Christ-centered content. So I'm just overjoyed to be on the Josh and Joey show today and to enjoy this time with you guys talking about these subjects, which are so near and dear to all of us, because we should be the catalyst for culture. We should be doing that. And that major word that the left has stolen from us, love, is without truth, there's no love. Without grace, there's no love. Both have to balance. And if I don't tell the truth, I'm not loving.
Well, Paul, you and I were talking about this earlier today, and this misunderstanding of what love is.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we somehow have been taught that love means affection for and acceptance of.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
there are pieces
In the culture
of
to
that.
use that. Right.
Yeah. You want to accept the person you love, fundamental part of them. But really, it means wanting the best for the other, wanting the best for the other person.
Sometimes that's hard for the other
It's
person.
very hard. It is very, and it
Yes.
doesn't always feel loving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tough love.
Yeah.
As I think Dobson used to say.